Hi and welcome to Carlos Cooks again. We've got a special edition for you today. I'm joined by my beautiful daughter Stephanie,
Hello.
who's going to help me make a delicious Valentine's Day dessert. So we thought you'd probably want to make something for your loved one, and rather than making a whole meal, we concentrate on just a lovely dessert to make, a lovely decadent chocolate and boozy dessert. And we're going to show you how to do that today. I brought my daughter along because it would be fair to say you're a fairly decent dessert and pastry cook, and she makes some beautiful cakes as well. And I'm going to show you a few of those down in the bottom right hand corner of the video, some of the things she's made, because she's really got a talent. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start off by making a sponge cake base, which we're going to put in the bottom of our dessert, and we're going to drizzle a sugar syrup that we've going to make that's got marmalade, orange marmalade in it, and it's also got a little bit of Cointreau as well. We've burnt off the alcohol. Going to drizzle that over the sponge. So that's going to be the base of our dessert. And then we're going to make a delicious chocolate mousse to go on top of that, made with some chocolate orange, sorry. And then we're going to make a Bailey's cream to go on top of that, and we're going to decorate with some chocolate hearts that Stephanie's going to make and some shavings of dark chocolate. It's going to be really delicious. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the sponge, show you how to make the sponge. So we're going to kick off with that. And this is just your basic sponge cake mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're doing 6 ounces of sugar, which we're going to mix with 6 ounces of butter. We're going to cream that up till it's pale using the whisk. And then we're going to add 3 eggs, and then the same amount, 6 ounces of self-raising flour. And that gives you just a standard sponge, but we're going to take it one step further. We're going to put in some melted chocolate, aren't we?
We are to make it melted.
Yeah, some 85% dark chocolate.
Yes.
Yep. Which is going to make it taste lovely. And then we're going to bake that. We've done one ahead of time so that we don't have to delay and wait for it to bake. So as soon as this one's underway and in the oven, we'll start drizzling our sugar syrup over the one we've already got done. So I'm just going to turn on the induction hob now, and I'm going to show you what I've done here. Right, so to make a sugar syrup, just in a saucepan, a little bit of water, and then just add some sugar to that water. I put quite a bit in, and then you slowly bring that up to temperature, stirring occasionally until the sugar's all dissolved in the water. Then what I've done is I've added 3 heaped teaspoons of orange marmalade that just give it a nice sweetness, a nice kick, and then a capful of Cointreau liqueur, delicious orange liqueur. Goes well with baking, so I've put a capful of that in, brought that up to temperature and stirred everything in, and then you just continue with that until it reduces down and thickens up. So that's what we're doing here on the induction hob now. That's all right. So we've got the butter and cream. Let's just show that to camera. So it's just been mixed in. You can see it's gone fluffy and it's started to take on a paler colour. So now she's just resetting the weight and is going to put in the 6 ounces of flour on top of that. Self-raising flour. I'll stir this while we're waiting for that, because we want to bring this back up to temperature so we can drizzle it over our baked version. And then 3 eggs go into that. And then it's blended up again until it's smooth. And then we will add the chocolate in. So that's coming up to temperature. Now, sugar syrup, warning, does get very hot. Whatever you do, do not get it on your skin. Be very careful with it. Make sure you've got no children around while you're cooking it. And stir very gently so it doesn't splash, because it is like molten lava when it gets hot. Yes, yeah, fine. So the orange marmalade I did use a one with a little bit of shred in it. Doesn't matter, that's going to be fine, it's not going to affect it. If some of that lays on top of the cake, it's not going to hurt. It's all going to add to the flavour. Despite sounding complicated, this is a very easy dessert to make. It's not going to take you long to make at all, but it looks very impressive and it tastes lovely. Sort of an orange liqueur style tiramisu if you want. But everyone loves chocolate, don't they?
They do.
Yeah. So you can't really go wrong with this. Now that's coming up to temperature now.
Should add in the chocolate now,
Right, so we've melted that in the microwave and just left it to stand for a little bit so it's not too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're using just a round baking tin, just a cheap round baking tin, but we put obviously a non-stick sort of greaseproof paper base in just to make it easier to come out, because we're going to cut it to go into our dessert dishes. Now this is starting to thicken up now. It'll reduce down as it cooks. You can raise the temperature a little bit. You don't want to boil it as such. Just lightly boiling is okay to burn the alcohol off from the Cointreau. But just a gentle simmer will, it'll evaporate and thicken up, and you'll get the syrup that you want. All the alcohol will burn off, and you'll just be left with the flavour of the Cointreau. That's looking nice. Can we show that to?
Yeah, I'm just going to mix it a bit
Just
around the edges.
Yeah, just get those last bits of chocolate up. We don't want to waste those, do we? It's so easy to make a sponge cake, isn't it? Just if you remember those ingredients, it's equal amounts of sugar, butter, self-raising flour, and well, if you're using 6 ounces, 3 eggs to every 6 ounces, and it's fairly simple.
Victoria sponge, where you divide it into 2 is 8 ounces and 4 eggs.
Yeah. And 2 of these will go together to make a nice sponge cake, nice sponge. If you were making a chocolate cake and you were using 2 of these like we're doing now, what would you put in the middle?
Jam, and it depends on how sweet you like things, but fresh cream is always nice if you whip up fresh cream. And again, it depends if it's a vanilla sponge or a chocolate sponge. Traditional Victoria sponges with your buttercream, which is nice. But yeah, any jam works well. Right, that's now ready to go in our pan. Okay.
So I'll bring it over here and you do it over here. I'll move the weighing scales because we won't need those again, will we? Well, I've turned this down now because it's starting to boil, but that's all right. It'll reduce down and thicken up, which is what we want. Another cake that I use this very same sort of syrup with the orange marmalade in is the apple and cinnamon cake that I make. It's a German style apple and cinnamon cake with apple sliced and baked on top. And you give that a good glaze. So I often make a marmalade sugar syrup glaze to go over that because it just gives it a sheen. Right, we should turn that off now. So it's pushing it into the sides. Now, what temperature have we got the oven on?
It's about 180, fan oven, and it will cook for probably about 25 to 30 minutes. Always check in, but don't open the oven before that time, because otherwise it won't run.
You use something like that to test whether the cake's done?
When it comes out clean.
When it comes out clean from the centre or the sides, or do you try?
Centre, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then it's done. Okay, so that goes in on the middle shelf. And we put 20 minutes first, or?
Yeah, and I'll watch it.
And again, that's it.
Okay.
Right, so next thing to do is here's the one we made earlier. And as you can see, it does rise up lovely, doesn't it? So do you want to pop some holes in with that all over? What we're just creating now is some areas for this syrup to soak into it. So you can use a fork or something like this. Just make a load of holes. So we want it to soak into the sponge that's within it. And then we'll put that to one side just to cool down a little bit before we start cutting it out for our dessert. Now our dessert is going to be made in these. Now you can use any any nice sort of glass dessert dish. We've opted for these because these can accommodate quite a nice sized dessert. There's, you know, good sized base at the bottom to put the sponge cake in, and it's going to look nice when it's in there,
nice
isn't it?
sugar
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Ready to serve them?
Yeah, and be very careful when you're doing this because it is boiling hot. But we're just going to pour that.
Soaking into those holes.
Yeah, mind your fingers because I don't want to burn you. Very similar to how you do a lemon drizzle cake, wouldn't you? You'd make the lemon drizzle syrup to go in the cake and soak in. So hopefully we put that to one side. That's going to probably be enough, isn't it? I think.
That's about right.
Yeah, I don't think we've missed anywhere. Let's give it a smell.
Good.
The chocolate smells unbelievable. Right, I'm going to stick that there out of the way because that's hot and we don't want to hurt ourselves on that. Right. What's next is the mousse. So you've got a Bain-marie there, and you're going to start melting some chocolate. So I'll put this on heat milk option.
We've just got a little bit of water in there that we need to heat up first.
Right. So you can boil the water first, and then turn it down to heat milk level, maybe.
And this is where we're using our chocolate orange flavoured chocolate.
Yep. Any will do, but we've opted for this one. I'm going to tap and unwrap it, and will we need all of that for the mousse, do you think?
You can decorate with a couple of segments, maybe.
Could do. Maybe we'll keep one just to put with a heart or something.
That would be enough.
Yeah? Okay. So we'll swap sizes, and you can see to that. Melt that. While you're melting that, I'm just going to wash this because we're going to need this for the cream, aren't we?
Yes.
Right. Because once this chocolate's melted, we're going to put a tub of double cream.
Yeah. Double cream.
Mix it in well, but we're then also going to beat up some cream to a whipped consistency and then fold that in gently. And that's going to make this chocolate mousse, isn't it?
Yes. Nice thick texture.
Yeah. Have you made chocolate mousse before?
I haven't actually. It's so simple though.
Do you put the cream in with the chocolate before it's melted, do you?
You put the cream in with the chocolate so they can melt together.
Right, okay.
Well, so they can combine.
Okay, let me just clean this up so we can reuse this. Now that's going to be quite a creamy chocolate. It's not a dark chocolate as such, is it? Is that better to use for a mousse? Or?
I suppose because we use quite dark chocolate, dark rich chocolate in the cake, it's going to quite complement it.
Balance,
really.
right.
Some people don't like the bitterness of dark chocolate.
Yes. Let me just wash our utensils up because I'm going to need these for the cream. Is it on high enough heat? I've got it on boil at the moment. Yeah. If it's boiling, you can turn it down to this just heat milk option now, so it's not. Do you have to be careful not to sort of overheat or burn that?
Don't want to burn it. Yeah.
So it needs to be gentle heat.
Hot water rather than directly in the pan.
Right.
Put the chocolate directly in the saucepan because that's a quick way to burn it. That's why we put it over the hot water.
So what's your favourite dessert to make then? Or your favourite cake or pudding?
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
I love cheesecake.
And what sorts have you made?
Quite a few different types. A Ferrero Rocher cheesecake is quite nice, or a custard cream cheesecake. That's a good one.
I think I remember.
Custard creams to make the base.
I think I remember the custard cream one. You made that when I was coming around for dinner one day,
that's it.
and believe me, I wanted to take it home with me. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I've got quite a sweet tooth, so.
And what do you use for the base of your cheesecakes?
Again, it depends. So if it's in custard cream, when I actually use custard cream.
Right, just crunched up.
Yeah. And maybe an Oreo one, using Oreo base. usually. Digestive biscuits is fine. But again, if you want something a bit sort of nuttier, you need to like hobnob.
All right. Yeah, we usually leave the desserts to you in the family, don't we? I'm more a savoury person, so I tend to steer clear of puddings. There are a few I can make. As I said, that summer berry tiramisu that I make in the summer with the toasted almonds on, and the German apple cake. Those are ones that I do like making, but I need to be a bit more adventurous, I think. Is that melting okay?
Yeah.
We've got the heat up high enough for it?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Good.
Just takes a bit of time, doing it gently.
What would happen if you had it too hot then? What would happen to the cream?
It would make the mixture split.
Right. And by split, you mean?
The fat rising out of the...
Okay, and it wouldn't blend nice and...
No, it wouldn't be smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it had sort of curdled.
Right. That looks like it's coming together all right, doesn't it? Yeah.
I think we're almost there.
Yeah, because you don't want it too hot, I suppose, because
So-
we're going to have whipped cream to it.
Yeah, we'll need to leave it to cool,
Cool
whilst
down.
we're whipping the cream.
Okay, should we put it in a bowl of cold water to help that along?
Yes.
Or? Right. If I use this saucepan here, you could put it in. Would it go in there? All
Yeah,
right?
that's perfect.
And then that would just help cool it down. We'll turn that off because we're done with that, aren't we?
Yeah, all done.
Right. Don't touch it because it does stay hot for a while, these induction hobs. You can still burn yourself. They do flash and tell you that they're still hot.
Yeah.
Until that goes off and the fan goes off, you wouldn't touch it or wipe it and clean it. Okay, so we want to whip some cream now, ready to go into that mixture when it's cooled. We're just using another whole pot of that, are we?
Yeah.
Would you reckon that would be? Yeah, probably would be.
Yeah. It's quite runny.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we need to thicken it
We've got
up.
one more of those to whip up for the cream that we're going to put on top. We are going to try and pipe cream on top before we put our chocolate decorations on, but we're a bit unfortunate in that we didn't read the piping bag, disposable piping bag packet that we bought, and their piping bags, they're dual piping bags. They haven't got a lot of room in them, so we've tried to make a makeshift piping bag so I can pipe some cream on top. So we'll give it a go. If it doesn't, we're just going to fork it on and make it look pretty, aren't we? Okay, go with that. Yep. Just going to put the butter back in the fridge because I don't think we need that anymore, do we? No, we're done with that. So you're mixing that on a medium speed?
Yeah, we don't want it to go too fast.
Yeah.
Again, it gets to a point when you've over-whipped cream, so we don't want to be doing that. Just stirring that chocolate orange and cream mixture up there. The smell coming from it. Oh, I love Terrace chocolate orange. We're almost there.
thinking back to my days in the family bakery business. That's the last time I used to have to whip cream on a bit of a larger scale, because obviously on a Saturday morning, had cream cakes to fill. But we used a large stand mixer with a, the big whisk on it. Made life a lot easier. But it's one of the jobs I used to like doing on a Saturday morning, was filling the cream donuts and the eclairs, ring donuts. So does it have to go to like a fluffy consistency as you would pipe it, or would you have it slightly less than that?
Slightly less, so we're going to put these desserts in the fridge anyway, so they'll set more in the fridge. The cream needs to be, it's almost sort of doubled in consistency as you whipped it. And,
but not runny, as long as it wouldn't come out of the bowl still.
It's holding its shape, basically.
So that's done, or that would need longer?
No, that's done. That's
okay,
perfect.
all right. If you give me those, I'll put those in the sink, because we need those washed again, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to see how cold that is.
No, that seems fine to me.
Yep. So you're just going to fold that in gently until it's all the same colour throughout still?
Yeah, that's it.
Just mix it enough.
You don't want to lose the peaks from the whipped cream out. Smells good.
I can smell the orange, chocolate orange. That's amazing. Still 7 minutes for that other one. It's just starting to rise now. No? You reckon that's enough, do you?
More chocolate in there. Get a bit more chocolatey.
You reckon a little bit more? Tell me when to stop.
Go for it. That'll do.
Mm-hmm.
The consistency of quite a thicker cream.
Yeah. I suppose we can put that in the fridge for a bit until while we cut the cake. Oh, let me make sure we've got some rum in there for that. Will that go in there or not? No. Probably won't go in there, will it?
That's right, I'll shuffle something.
Oh yeah, chuck that at the top. And what we'll do now is we'll cut some rounds out of this that are suitably. We just want to come probably about up to that first little rim there on the bowl, don't we? With not much higher than that, so it's
about a third of a glass.
yeah. So if we can,
Take that out.
yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's move those over here rather, and then we can use something to cut some rounds out. I don't know what's a good idea. A glass maybe. We'll try a glass very gently to see if that is the right. I'm just thinking that probably be.
Or I can just use a knife.
It's up to you.
Let's go with a glass.
It should be soft enough that if you just twist it as you go down, it might come out. If not, there's a. Did have a sharp knife here somewhere to help with it. Yeah.
It's nice and moist. That's a good chunk of cake, that.
That is like a large chocolate scone, isn't it? That's beautiful. Look at that. Hold it. Just put it on top for a minute. So once we put that in there, what do you think we need? Half of that? I don't know. Cut it in half.
You can almost
Pat it down.
a little
Okay.
bit. We don't want too much
Okay.
because
Are we going to turn it upside down so the soft bits at the like that or something like that? Yeah, and you can make it accommodate that, I suppose, enough so that
my hands are clean.
yeah. We might just have to push it down a little bit and compress it a little bit, mightn't we?
almost like a chocolate trifle, isn't it?
It smells delicious though, that cake. That's like a really nice chocolate muffin.
We said a third, but...
It's a little bit more than we wanted in there, but... It's the textures that are going to go nice together. Dipping in and getting the cream, and then the chocolate mousse, and then a bit of that cake on the spoon together. Magical things are going to happen in your mouth, aren't they? That's a little bit dirty, that one. Do you want to do the other one?
Yeah. We'll cut down a little bit of this one.
Yeah.
Just use a knife and...
Just slice a little bit off, are you?
There's nothing like warm cake.
Definitely. Yeah, that was a better idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to do another one? I'll tip that
Yeah,
out.
we can.
And we'll do another one the same with that lot.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I'll just get rid of that. So we've got plenty.
There you go, we can just use that for that.
There you go. 2 minutes on the clock for that other cake. We're going to have so much cake, we're going to have to take some home. We'll have to do something.
What do you think we could do with
I don't know, but if you needed to make 6 of these, a couple of the sponges is going to do it easily.
Definitely, especially if you think we've halved it as well. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, go for it. I already have. You probably did. You probably
I
didn't.
missed that.
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's very moist. Very moist. Very lovely. Okay, so let's stick those in the fridge for a minute while the mousse is. It's easier said than done because it's very crowded in here. Put that to one side. So when we put the chocolate mousse on top of that cake, we've got to make some more whipped cream to go on top. But before that,
Decorations?
yeah, some chocolate hearts I think are in order.
Yeah, because we need to leave them to set as well.
Yeah.
Before we build our dessert.
Yeah. So you've got some, just a plate with a little bit of
Little round of baking parchment.
and some melted dark chocolate and a piping bag. And you're just going to do some heart
Simple
shapes.
heart shapes. As it's for Valentines.
And the plan was we were going to try and take 3 of the hearts and just put them together with 3 sort of sides standing up on the top of the dessert. If it works or not, we'll see.
Do you want to help me?
Yep. What, do you want to spoon it in or?
No,
Just-
just pour it in and I'll hold it open.
Okay, that's a bit.
It's fine. There you go, Dad.
Right, how much do you need?
Keep going. Okay, that'll do.
Okay, just let me stop that a minute.
There you go.
And I'll check the oven while you do that. See if this one's done.
No, that.
No, it's, yeah, needs a bit longer. That one.
Sometimes you can just tell, like the middle of the cake hasn't risen.
Okay. Well, these very handy piping bags. Where do we bought these in the range, didn't
Range.
we? Yeah. And you can snip the end off once you've filled them to.
And then you're going to do a little. There we go. A little hole because we want some delicate hearts.
Okay. And we're just using plain 85% dark chocolate for these, but you could have used the chocolate orange as well.
So you can do a heart shape and then fill them in.
Yeah, look at that. Let me just show that. So she's just doing a an outline on the paper, and then going to fill it in with chocolate, and then we'll put this in the fridge in a second, just so they set, and they'll come off very easily. And you can do all sorts of shapes. You can do, musical notes, isn't it? The treble clef sort of thing. That's a good one to do with chocolate, or just create a shape and then do some cross hatching in chocolate, and you can take 3 or 4 pieces of that, the same shape, stand it on top of a cake, on top of whatever cream you've got on there. That always looks nice. We need 6, don't we? I know we've got some we made earlier, but we'll try. Yeah, they're good-looking hearts. You've obviously done this before. You can buy some very small sort of, well, they're not cookie cutters as such, but they're very tiny heart-shaped cutters, and if you use that, you could just pipe inside that as a mould. Take a bit longer, but we'll give you the shape.
Okay, so I've got 6 there.
Okay, let's put those in the fridge then. Let's take those ones out so we can accommodate it. Oh, sorry. Right, so next thing, let's whip up the cream.
Some Irish cream.
Yeah, we're going to whip up cream and then add the Baileys to it. Is that what we do?
Yeah, Baileys afterwards.
Well, it's not Baileys, it's another brand of Irish cream liqueur, but they're all the same.
It's in the cooking, like,
Yeah.
it tastes the same.
Okay. So, you've got it in there, so you're going to have to use something different. Let me see if I've probably got one in here you can...
That'll do.
Is that big enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll do.
But we're going to whip this a little bit longer to get
Bit thicker
and fluffiness to it.
As we'll be sort of moulding this on the top, we want it to hold it.
Hopefully it'll come out the piping bag that we've made. But if it doesn't, all's not lost. We'll spoon it on and just give it a few peaks, make it look nice.
Okay.
Yep. I'll check this again. Make sure the cake's not burning. Still needs a bit longer, that one. As you can see, I've just dipped that in and it's still coating it. So it means the mixture's not set inside the cake. We need to leave it a bit longer. So as I say, any brand of Irish cream liqueur. How much do you think we're going to need? Oh. Yeah. But how much will the cream take before it affects the cream?
Take it a little at a time.
Okay. Can you just fold that in as well?
Yeah, don't want to be whipping it in.
It does go a bit faster if you press the turbo button if you need it. All right.
This one.
Very valuable piece of kitchen equipment, these pan mixers, because you've seen how much we've used them for today to make this dessert. you know, to mix the cake and mix the mousse and mix the cream for the top. And they're not expensive at all. I mean, I've had this one for a number of years now, and I do use it quite a lot. And I can't remember paying more than sort of $12.99 for it. It comes with several attachments as well for doing different sorts of things. Definitely worth the investment. Needs a little bit more, doesn't it, I think? These stiff peaks sort of thing. Yeah. It's not far off, is it? Just turn it off for a second. What I do is I turn it off and then lift up the...
Slowly lift it out.
Dip them in and then slowly lift them out and see if you get sort of peaks that still stay there, like.
Yeah.
And I know that the best is to hold it upside down, isn't it?
That's my rhyme, isn't it?
Well, I thought it was fresh cream as well.
But still, that didn't do anything.
No, can I just try a bit off there just to see if we've got the consistency for piping?
It's an excuse, really. Got some on my chin now.
Right.
What do you think?
A
A little longer?
A little longer, I think.
Do you want to get...
It's a little bit
Do
smooth.
you have a little glass? Put some Irish cream in a glass and then we'll
Yep.
add a bit like...
More? A little bit more? Always get some more out if that's not enough. Yeah.
That looks about right.
Yeah.
You can feel it's
Yeah.
definitely thicker now.
Okay, I'll hold that and you bang those. Move that out of the way because we're finished with that one for now.
Right, so
Right.
we're going to fold it in.
Yep.
Stick for me.
That's done now, it needs to come out.
Sounds like crisps.
Is it going in alright?
Yeah, perfect.
You think it's still going to be pipeable?
I think that's...
Maybe not. You might have to just smooth it on. I don't think that's going to pipe now. I think we'll be safer just smoothing it on.
Next time we've got the heart.
Yeah, yeah. You just get a teaspoon.
My turn now.
Well, go on then. You see if it's got sufficient Baileys in it.
It's very nice.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So that's enough, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Leave that for me.
All right, I'll leave that there. All right. So now we can stick that in the fridge, maybe just to firm up a little. And if we take the desserts out, we can start putting some mousse.
Assembling.
Yeah. Might want to just give that a stir, and then we'll take it up to the probably about ½ inch from the top, maybe.
Yeah.
Turn the oven off because we don't need that anymore. Right. Just put that back in the fridge when you've done that, just to help it firm up a little bit while we.
If you can wait that long.
Yeah, that's looking good, isn't it? Just about enough, I think, there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Happy with that?
That looks about right, doesn't it, with the cream on,
I
maybe?
think by the time you put the cream on.
Okay, let's put that in there to set. Then we'll take some of our hearts off. Pick 6 of the best that we've got. And where's the other one? Over there. So they've set nice. Do you need to use a knife to get those?
These ones have sat a little bit more, haven't
So
they?
these are not.
These have still got a shine on, so they're not quite
So
ready
we put
yet.
those back in the fridge.
So those need to go in the fridge
All right.
for a little bit.
Okay.
These ones are definitely ready.
They come off
You don't
easily.
even need a knife.
No,
You can just peel them off. Be gentle though.
they're quite brittle. Are they sort of malleable?
No, they're quite malleable. But you have to be quite quick because you can feel it melting in your fingers.
Oh, really? That?
Especially it's quite warm in here.
Lovely. All right. So let's finish one of the desserts off so that we can show. Well, we'll let the other one set a little bit longer. But if we just complete the one. Now, normally you'd leave these in the fridge for a good hour to set before you put the cream on top, wouldn't you? So if you can just spoon some of that lovely Bailey's cream on. We should have a contrast of colours, really, getting lighter and lighter as it goes up. That's looking good. If you just dollop it on like that, you get a little bit of texture with it, don't you?
Yeah. I'll get it right into the corners.
Do you want a smaller spoon for that?
Yeah, that'd be good.
And take that off. Oh, I haven't tried this yet, the Bailey's one. Oh my. Yeah. Do I like that? That is a.
On top.
Put that back in the fridge then.
Good.
I've got some dark chocolate shavings now. Where did you put the chocolate?
It's just here.
We're going to use a potato peeler to do this. If you've got a sharp knife, you could just run a sharp knife along the edge of the chocolate to get the same. But this will make it a little bit easier. I've just realised that central camera's gone again, and I don't understand why. Oh, that's looking lovely.
Oh, look at these.
Yes, yeah, that potato peeler does the job, doesn't it? A bit more, I think we need, don't we?
Just that's that sort of professional touch, these little curls.
Mm.
Okay, and then we can stick the parts in.
Yep.
Right. What's your formation?
I was thinking about putting 3 together, just sort of standing up. So 1, 2, and 3. So they're
This way?
yeah, but you'll have to balance them probably together, wouldn't you? If you know what I mean. Yeah, so just pop them in and then put them down. So it's a triangle basically of hearts. That's what I was thinking, but like that. Kind of like that.
But still going to be just as delicious.
Now, apologies once again. We've had another camera failure, and you're not seeing much of the two of us doing the cooking. You're seeing some side shots. So I will get that sorted for the next video, but there's our Valentine's dessert. And what we've done is we've made a Boozy Cointreau chocolate cake base for it. And then we've made a chocolate mousse with chocolate orange.
Yeah.
And cream.
Yeah, and then a whipped cream on the top with some Irish cream added.
And then chocolate shavings and some beautiful little chocolate hearts that Stephanie's made. And I think that looks lovely. And I know we've only had a little taster throughout of the various elements, but together that's going to taste beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't wait to try it.
But it does need to go in the fridge and set. And it would be beneficial if you set the chocolate mousse before you added the cream on top. But obviously time constraints mean we had to do it a bit quicker. But, you know, good job. High five. Been lovely working with you today.
Yeah, it's been great.
A great change. Thank you very much for coming and helping me with that. We hope you enjoyed that, and we hope you have a go at making it for your loved one at Valentine's Day, which is coming up pretty soon. You know, if you'd like to give us a thumbs up on YouTube, that would be very much appreciated, but we don't mind a thumbs down. We know we've got some work to do to finesse things. And if you want to know about new content that is uploaded, because we're doing it quite regularly at the moment, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so that you can be notified when that happens. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again. Thank you.